So today we are here to install a new galvanic isolator onto the boat. This is meant to protect the boat from potential stray current coming through the AC grounding circuit into the boat and potentially causing the boat's anodes to corrode prematurely. So this is the standard. This is designated as an ABYC standard to maintain on a sailboat. And the idea is just to basically connect the ground wire that is connected to shore power immediately inside the boat through this so that it blocks that stray current. The way it works is it's got two diodes that diode is like a check valve in plumbing. It only allows current one way. So it has two diodes that are facing in opposite directions, right? So current can't come through this way and current can come through this way. It's basically protecting current from going out and coming in. And to my understanding, they are two diodes in series that have their backs to each other, so that a diode, I think, is rated for 0.7 volts, something like that. So two in parallel results in facilitating a 1.4 volt blockage of DC current, which is what these are supposed to do. In addition, that series of diodes, so four altogether, two that are facing in one direction, two in the other direction, are on one series of a circuit, and then in parallel is a second series that goes through a capacitor. And that capacitor only allows AC voltage through. It does not allow DC voltage through. So that's my understanding of what a galvanic isolator does or how it works. And like I said, we're going to install today. And in addition to installing that, I'll be crawling inside this lazarette here underneath me and doing some boat yoga, so you'll get to see that. In addition, we're going to be placing this inlet. This is the Shore Power inlet, and you can see it's kind of, this cover is kind of taped on there. Maybe you can't see, but I can quickly disassemble this tape job. And ultimately, I think this cover is just going to detach itself. There you go. So this was taped on. I have a replacement inlet here. I think it cost me 30-40 bucks. And we're going to swap this out in addition to installing that galvanic isolator today. I think we've got everything we need, and this should be easier because I'm not looking forward to crawling down into this lazarette below me. That is going to be uncomfortable, and the less time I need to spend down there, the better. So let's start here. We're just unscrewing the four mounting screws, and these look like they're in very good condition. They don't look corroded at all, so I will probably be reusing these screws. And here you can see where the wires are connected. So we're going to be disconnecting these yet. With the new inlet, has nice little color coding on the back, right? So white goes to white, black goes to black, green goes to green. It's always good to really pay attention to how things are before you take them off. I'll probably even take a picture, which you can watch me do right now. Just so, you know, I don't know how many times I've ended up leveraging pictures like that to make sure that when I'm installing the new device that I'm following what was in place. And of course, AC would connect through here, so I know I'm not connected to any AC here. There's no AC current going into the boat. And there's no AC power source on the boat. There's no generator or anything like that. So this effort absolutely should only be conducted when you're disconnected from AC. All right, one thing we want to do before we install this galvanic isolator is test it. And my understanding is that I should be able to put a lead on each side, and I should be able to verify that my reading on the diode test matches 1.4 volts, between 0.7 and 1.4 volts. Okay, I'm going to attach each lead to the tester, and you should be seeing when I'm attached 1 volt. So this is basically working. It's a diode test, so that means it recognizes diodes inside of here, and the diodes are functioning. What I'm not a big fan of here is that this wire on the galvanic isolator is 10 gauge. So that should still be enough for the 50 amp rating that this thing has. But, you know, it's connecting to 6 gauge wire to go into the bonding circuit. And, you know, you'd rather not connect different gauges. You know, the 6 gauge has more capacity, amp capacity, than does the 10 gauge. But the 10 gauge is what we got here on this device. So, you know, this installed no problem. I'm realizing though that you know, I can't install it out here. It's actually got to be installed inside. I'm also realizing that I didn't put the new gasket on. I may have to take these off, put on the new gasket, because how does the new gasket go on otherwise? I'm going to have to retake these off, put them back on to put on that gasket. All right, we're taking these connections off. You notice I now have the new gasket here on the outline of where this is going to be installed, which is why I took these off. And now I'm going to reinstall the wires. First wire going on at this point is the neutral ungrounded wire, the white wire in the AC circuit. I feel like I'm not threaded. I feel like that is just spinning away. Yeah, so loosening, I may have caused a problem here. I gotta look at what's going on here. Okay, like many boat projects, I came into an unanticipated issue where I had to basically take this apparatus off. It turns out that the mounting screws on the side, I receded one of the screws so far that the wall that it was attached to, basically a little bracket that it's screwed into, think of it like a nut. It's screwed off of the nut. So now the nut is out there. I'm just screwing, and it's got nothing to screw against. So I had to take the whole thing apart to, you know, reattach that backing wall. And in doing so, you know, I had to learn how to put it all back together. So that was about, you know, 45 minutes to an hour's worth of my time that I'm never going to get back, right? But that is the fun of boat projects. So now we're going to put white into this hole here. And I understand now that the wall is as far back as it can go. So I just need to push this wire in so that it is fully inside. That is pretty good. Now I should be able to basically screw that wall in and feel it bite onto that wire. Which I do. There you go. Got a solid bite. And again, I'm going to basically put this insulation jacket over that wire so that those exposed wires are a little more protected. We'll do the black wire now next. That's going in pretty good. We're going to bring that wall in so it's nice and tight against that wire, which I can feel it. It's got bite. That's good. Now we're going to heat shrink this material here so that this is a little more insulated. All right. So at this point, we can probably mount this now to the combing. So we'll take these 4 screws that we pulled out earlier. All we need to do is tighten these screws down to the gasket. There. That's nice and tight. Nice and tight. Nice and tight. Yeah, that's sealed up. Holy moly. Okay. I'm laughing because, man, what should go quick never goes quick, right? So that's in place. We've got a new receptacle replacing this old one that had the broken lid. And now we're going to go in and we're going to finish installing the galvanic isolator on the grounding wire. All right, here's the galvanic isolator. And I've already determined that I want to install it up here in this fiberglass. Okay, I've got the spot. Okay. Yep, it's going on. And then I can put the screw in there. Oh, boat yoga, baby. Boat yoga. Oh. Okay. There we go. That was enough to start the screw. It's going in. There. That is tight. Okay. This guy is mounted. Okay, so that's the galvanic isolator there on the bottom of this combing and the lazarette, and we're going to attach to this power inlet. That's the AC power inlet for Shore Power, and the grounding is going to connect from up there, and then this wire here is going to attach to the old grounding wire. So that grounding wire then leads back to the AC system of the boat down that way, right? So we're going to attach this guy here to that guy there, and as you can see, that guy's in. I gotta screw that mounting screw down so that wire doesn't go anywhere from the inlet of the Shore Power. And here I am down doing boat yoga. Yeah. Okay. So taking one of these, we'll just start with this. Get her connected. We're going to put the larger wire in first. And now the smaller wire is going in next. Now we're going to connect these two guys together. We're going to tighten this guy. And then we'll like I said, kind of like clamp these wires down here so that the wires don't go anywhere. This thing is kind of set in one spot. And that should be pretty good because you're not supposed to have more than 18 inches of wire unsupported, but this thing in particular needs to have some support. So I'll definitely mount this guy up here. Oh yeah. Okay, here's two pairs of pliers. Here's some tape. Okay. Ooh, that's tight. I don't know if I can get much tighter than that. Okay. I think the next step is I'm gonna put some electrical tape over the top of this just to provide some insulation. Okay, that's done. All right, so now all we need to do is clamp these down, which isn't always fun. I might need to use that drill again to get some clamps down here. Let's stick my head up. Okay, there's the clamps. I've got a couple clamps. I just lost one screw. That stinks. Here's an old plastic clamp. So we're going to want to drill another hole for the benefit of this clamp, which we'll do right here. Okay, that's done. Let's see if this will work here. Okay, here's the clamp. And that is going in. And that facilitates supporting these wires. You don't want the wires to be unsupported. All right, Galvanic Isolator. You've got a connection that's wrapped in electrical tape for now. It's supported on either side by clamps. I put in an extra new clamp, a replacement clamp up there for support of the wires coming directly from the AC inlet. And I've got further support as it goes down aft back to the panel. I do still have a little bit of exposure there for the wire. There was exposure there to begin with, so I'm no worse, but I always feel like I could do better. So that may be in the cards, we'll see, to just prevent any wire being exposed is a good thing, I suppose. Anyway, I think my business down here is done. I really want to thank my subscribers. I appreciate your support. If you have stayed to the end of this video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd press that like button. That helps the channel grow. This is Sailor Eric. Thanks for watching.